All right, good evening, and we are moving on to multiplying integers. And remember, integer is a whole number, whether it be positive or negative, it's a whole number. And also, we are multiplying, and multiplying can get a little bit tricky with doubles because they both have parentheses, so they have the potential for having parentheses. So you need to be able to recognize both multiplying integers or having doubles of integers. Anyways, let's look through it. If you hear the word multiply, you may be looking at words like product. And so product certainly is multiplying too. But example 1 on page 234 says find. So number 1 on page 234 in your book says find 3 times negative 5. Now, this is a times because the number is right next to the parentheses. All right, so in multiplying and dividing, you multiply as normal. So 3 times 5 is 15. Count the negative sign, and there's 1. So the answer is negatory 15 because it's an odd number. And so that's like saying 3 times 5 is 15, and what's the opposite, because negative can be seen as opposite, so the opposite would be negative 15. And number 2 in your book is find negative 6 times 8. And so we multiply as normal. 6 times 8 is 48, and it's the opposite because there's only 1, so there's 1 negative, so we put that in there, and so it's negative 48. And another way of looking at it is 6 times 8 is 48, but we have an opposite here, if we want to call the negative an opposite. So negative 40, the opposite of 48 is negative 48. I hope these help. Let's do A and B on the bottom. So it's 9 times negative 2. And I hope you recognize this as a multiplying because the number is right next to it, not a sign. And so it is 9 times 2 is 18. And it is 1 negative, so it's negative. If there was 2 negatives, which I don't know and why they're not putting these in, 2 negatives, let's make that a 2 negatives. This would be then 2 negatives is an even number, so it would be a positive 18. So, and let's do B, negative 7 times 4, and 4 times 7 is 28, and there's 1 negative, so it's an odd number, and it's negative. Hope this helps.